New South Wales will run right to left. And Origin 2 is underway. Off the boot of Andrew Johns. And sliding down to take that ball was Brad Thorne, the young Queenslander. First touch of the football. A bumping run. Even that run was an improvement on the start of the match in Queensland. Now Steve Walters goes for a dummy half run, his first of the game. Penalty against the Blues. Inside the 10.
Spoke to David Manson, the referee, before the match. He's keen to stop the players jumping the gun early when they play the ball. That's what happened on that occasion.
Julian O'Neill from the Western Reds. Oh, big shoulder!
Laurie Daly on the front rower, Andrew G. poleaxed him as Gary Larson gets dealt some treatment, 28 out centre field, second tackle.
Steve Walters then away to the left, and here's Billy Moore. Swarmed over by the Blues just outside the 20-metre line. They come to the right for Langer to put it on the boot. Looking for Dallas on the outside flank. Sailor and Brasher waiting for the decision. Line drop out.
Well, that's tremendous work from Queensland. A set move, and Timmy Brasher really had some work to do here. Wendell Sailor and Brett Dallas were zeroing in, and the fullback again was in the right place at the right time. Have a look at this from a centre on a front rower.
Well, Laurie Daly's put the hip and shoulder into that and stopped Andrew G in his tracks.
Well, that line drop out didn't have a lot of quality about it. And Alan Langer's gone into touch. Penalty's gone to Queensland nevertheless.
Well, we can't tell from here. The referee obviously thought Alan Langer's momentum was stopped. He takes the quick kick for the sideline, as you'd expect.
Yeah, it was a penalty, all right. It was a good decision.
15 metres out from the line. Member side of the ground. Tony Hearn got away from the tackle there of the New South Wales number 8, Lazarus. More towards the centre of the park then. Langer, a long pass out. He finds his 5'8" O'Neill. O'Neill put away. No gain in ground. They lost it, in fact. Now from Renoff, and it's with Sailor. Sailor goes straight up at the forwards. Wendell Sailor playing it there for Steve Walters to come to the right for Alan Langer, and Langer held on to the ball. Now Jeff Tuvey has been flattened. I'm not sure what happened to him as it comes across for Renoff. He rolls it into the end goal, and again some work for Brasher, but this time it'll come back to the 20-metre line.
A little bit too deep, that one, but Billy Moore, in going back on side for Queensland, seemed to come in contact with Jeff Tuvey. He dropped to the ground very, very quickly. The touch judge is now on. I'm sure that it is Billy Moore, the player that will be called out.
Brad Fittler's got something to say about it. Here's Billy Moore. Just gives Tuvey a bit of a push. Well, a bit of acting there from Jeff Tuvey. I don't think he connected too hard.
Now from Tuvey, they go for the right of the ground, and Muir. New South Wales lock forward. 15 metres out. Tuvey appeals for a penalty. Now he passes an ordinary ball away for Johns, who fends away from Langer. Johns almost through. Desperate defence by Queensland. Now, the kick by Fittler. Sailor is there. A ring of the Blues around him. And a line drop out.
Similar tactics by both teams early in this match, and good tactics. Wendell Sailor, back at fullback, was in the right position here, and they'll be very aware of Brad Fittler's short kicking game. He put on the first try in Brisbane for Andrew Eddinghausen. I'm sure that Paul Vorton has them well versed in covering those little kicks, as it was on this occasion.
So we come back down the ground with the first Western Red Origin player from memory. I don't think that applied to Brad Mackay. Tuvey now. 30 metres away from the Queensland line. Penalty goes to the Blues against the Queensland tacklers. And Andrew Johns will be given the ball. Brad Fittler says kick for goal.
Steve Walters sucking them in there as Johns lines the kick up. Brad Thorne was the offender here, making the tackle, maybe a little bit high, but he wasn't tackled for that. Slowing him down just too much in there. He's doing his job, but a little bit over-vigorous.
Yes, that will be the priority of both teams, to slow down the momentum of the opposition, and that will mean trying to hold them down in the play-the-ball area. Obviously, this is not the part of the field that you want to be doing that, giving Johns the first opportunity to put points on. Not an easy kick. He's only 30 metres out, 15 metres in. He didn't hit his first one very well in Queensland. Got 2 points. We're looking to strike the ball better this time.
Andrew Johns, 7.5 minutes, 30 metres out, 15 in from touch. Gets it away nicely, hits the upright, bounces back, there's still a chance. Sailor was alert for Queensland. 45 metres away from the New South Wales line. No score in Origin 2, the 47th clash. Brad Thorne, playing in only his second Origin. Larson. Kevin Walters is preparing to come on in jumper number 15. Sailor. Infield ball for O'Neill. Langer was with him. Now the last. Langer to the blind side. A little kick and Brasher was there waiting for it. It's been beautifully positioned, Brasher.
I'll tell you what it does with a player in form as well as Tim Brasher was playing. It gives your front line of defence so much confidence. Well, there's an offside penalty against Queensland. Laurie Daly with a quick tap.
Daly, a run of about 18 metres to the halfway line. Then for John, to the right for Fittler. Eddinghausen comes in field. Fittler a dummy. That is David Furner. And the penalty has been given here to New South Wales. It's a high shot on Andrew G. Kevin Walters is coming on, and Matt Singh is going off. 22nd minute. 0-0. 38 metres out. This time, he's got it. Andrew Johns raises the flags and the Blues lead 2 points to 0. With the line finder. And Larson takes it up.
Right,
back in his second row position tonight.
Just quickly, I don't think it's any coincidence that Menzies is on while the opposition are down a player in defence either. Smart move by Gould.
Andrew G tackled on the halfway line. Billy Moore sending Tony Hearn up to the 40-metre line. Now Langer comes down the blind side with Brad Thorne. Daly has been strong in defence on the left side of the ground. This is Julian O'Neill. And 5 tackles have gone now. 28 metres out from the line. Langer. The kick is across. It's looking for Sailor. The bounce of the ball. Rinoff goes over, puts the ball down. And it's a try. Oh! Queensland are in.
Great kick, Alan Langer. But you've got to compete, and Wendell Sailor did just that. Interesting to see if he got his hands to the ball. The crossfield kick, no chance for Tim Brasher to get there. It's all left for Rod Wishart. Sailor clutches at it, must have missed it, and Renoff cleaning up. Eddinghausen can't stop him.
Yeah, he put a ball up in the air at this end of the field, and it's a lottery. It went straight through the arms of Rod Wishart. Even though he's under pressure, he probably should have taken it at this level of football. And Steve Renoff, he was there to pick up the scraps, to take Eddinghausen across the line. So what a bonus for the Maroons to score a try while they've got a man off the field.
O'Neill, 19 out, looks okay. Straight between the uprights, it's a beauty. 6-2 Queensland now. Dallas. Just beyond the 20-metre line. Stephen Walters. Valuable meters. 32 metres out from his own line. Down the blindside corridor goes Andrew G now. Almost to the halfway line. They're making more and more meters as we come up to approach half-time. Fifth tackle now. Kevin Walters tries something, and the Blues come away with it. Menzies down the right of the ground. Eddinghausen kicks into the centre, and Kevin Walters will be back there to clean it up.
Well, he's given a penalty for being tackled without the football, Andrew Eddinghausen, but again, it must have been a very close thing. A bad kick from Kevin Walters, giving possession away, and straight away the Blues swooped.
The strength of Queensland has been kicking into the corners and putting the high balls up, and Kevin Walters just straying from the game plan there.
So, 1 3/4 minutes to the break. The Blues with a chance. Tuvi, Menzies. Tackled just inside the 10-metre line. Tuvi looking at Fittler on the blind. Johns on the open. Then for Daly. Now for Furner. Then Eddinghausen. Now Wishart. And Wishart crosses. There's the Blues try. New South Wales have levelled up at 6 points all.
Great hands from the Blues. There's this error earlier on. The Kevin Walters kick that just didn't get any height to it. Straight to Daly. But it's from here the Blues set it up. O'Neill, the late tackle on Andrew Eddinghausen, he had to really make it to stop a try, but while the vision, the players out wide, knowing they've got a man over, and the Maroons just can't cover up. There's Wendell Saylor trying his hardest to slide. He's got no support, able to get there quick enough on the inside, and Wishart, some good footwork to make that shot at goal a lot easier.
Well, it was a very short line from Queensland as we freeze played there. This man, Wendell Saylor, is the widest player. There is still another player outside this New South Wales attacker as play continues. And really, with the amount of space on the outside, New South Wales had to score. It just meant it had to be good hands. Good footwork there from Rod Wishart. But they really did have a condensed line, Queensland. I don't think they had to be that tight.
Well, I'm not sure Steve Renouf should have come in. Billy Moore on his inside.
I've also got to say, I didn't think it was a penalty on the tackle on Eddinghausen.
I think he's a very hard marker. I think it was a tough call on Julian O'Neill's tackle. Johns converts the try, and at half-time, the Blues grab the lead. New South Wales by 2. So sit back and enjoy it. Here's the second half coming up. New South Wales by 2 as we go into the second half. Glenn Lazarus on his own 20-metre line. Now for Dean Pay. Second tackle. First set of 6. Second half. Practically a windless night in Sydney. Johns with a half break. 38 metres away from his own line. Tuvi then on for Fittler and through to Daly, and then wide for Eddinghausen, and then coming back in as Wishart, but he's been well read. The Blues then, with a quick play of the ball, go onward, and Fittler is smothered by the Queensland defence. This is the last tackle. Daly, charged down by Langer. Has he got support? Oh, he can't pick it up. Menzies goes away for New South Wales.
A real shame there, Alan Langer. Some great individual play to charge that kick down. There was no one with him. He did the right thing by trying to dive on it, but just couldn't come up with it. His side now going to struggle. 6 more tackles.
Tuvi. John, he's causing some trouble, Andrew. He's opened them up a couple of times. Now for Fittler. Cuts out Daly, picks up Menzies. Menzies 25 metres out, tackle 5. Brasher, Daly to the air. And a test for Queensland under the bomb now. Brasher back for pay, but it's come down. And a knock-on is ordered.
Tim Brasher, a little fumble that went forward into one of the Queensland players before he regathered it to give it to Dean Pay. But no one really competing there for the bomb apart from Brasher. Andrew G just stuck under it. See, there's the knock-on, hit G in the head. Good ruling from the referee.
So Queensland coming away from their own 20-metre line with Andrew G. Steve Roach, what did you find out at half-time?
Well, most of the talk in the New South Wales camp was don't let Queensland score the first try in the second half. It happened in Queensland. They don't want it to happen again. He said, stop giving away possession. We're letting them back into the game with our own mistakes. He said, don't stand off Langer. He's causing us all sorts of problems when they're down in our 20-metre line. He said, expect Menzies to run off Daly a bit more in this half. He reckons they're a potent combination together. And he said, look, this is the biggest game of our lives, boys. Go out and enjoy it and let's win the series.
Thank you, Steve. It's the Blues through Jamie Ainscough, and a penalty to the Blues. Manson allowed it to go and then called them offside.
There's been plenty of penalties in this game. Really, Alan Langer hasn't caused them problems by making the bust himself, but by running the football, players around him have probably benefited more. So much emphasis on stopping Langer, he's attracting 2 and 3, and that opens up something for his teammates.
Lazarus is underneath that tackle. And here's Tuvey going from the 20-metre line. Inside the 10. Taken in by Ainscough. It's a try. The Blues have gone in on the far side of the ground. Mullins has scored for them.
Well, we mentioned that Jeff Tuvey wasn't having a lot of success out of dummy half. He's just thrown that out the window. They've gone to sleep on him. He's taken off down the blind side of the ruck. Throwing the football to support players who finished it off beautifully. Just lazy play against him. The ball was a good one and well taken by Ainscough, and he just put it on to Mullins, who got over in the corner.
Tony Hearn and Andrew G there, well, almost obscured by the ref, but neither of them covering the right-hand side of the field. Tuvey looked like he might have gone over himself, but wisely offloaded to Ainscough, and then Mullins just diving over.
Bitterly disappointed to allow what is a soft try at State of Origin level.
2 from 4 for Andrew Johns. This time from the sideline. And just coming away. So no addition. 12-6 the Blues over the Maroons.
I think the referee's ruled at your way that he did touch the player and also went to the side of the ruck area. I don't see a lot of percentage in that play, really. It's great when it comes off, but more often than not, it is a penalty.
Tony Hearn in their second half. He's pulled off some great tackles. Now they come to the right for Johns to combine with Eddinghausen. 35 metres out from the Queensland line.
Even this early on, out Ray, I wouldn't be surprised if they think field goal. Force your opponent to have to score twice, and they've got some good exponents of the drop kick in their team, the Blues.
It's with Johns. And then a short pass for Eddinghausen. He's got players left and right. He slides over. Is he over the line, though? No, he's not. Manson says 5th tackle.
Well, he's bombed that. Menzies on the inside was unmarked.
Now it's gone to Johns. He cross kicks. Up they go, Mullins! Mullins! He scores his second try!
Well, it should have been one play earlier. Gary Belcher pointed out that Steve Menzies was unmarked on the inside of Eddinghausen. This should show it up. He did great there, Andrew Johns. He attracted 2 defenders. We saw Menzies go back on the inside there. It looked as though the momentum had to take him across. In fact, his head ended up over the line. The ball was short. And then the cross kick. Now the adjudication on offside on this is from the touch judge. It's not the referee, and he has signalled that the players, the chasers, Brett Mullins, are onside.
And that picture from the high camera catches the touch judge with the arm up, pointing in a forward direction that tells the centre man that they're onside. Mullins won't score too many easier than that. The jubilation for the Canberra fullback. Gets his second try.
And if he was onside rate, it was a millimetre. And there is also some talk that Andrew Ettinghausen may have lost the football in the tackle when he played the football to go into this one.
The shot again has gone wide to the left. Incidentally, on David Manson, he's doing his 8th Origin tonight. And in the 7 previous Origins, he's given 41 penalties apiece. So that'll give you an idea of how the penalty count is up in this match. 16 is Croker. And then Tuvey away for Harrigan to go. Oh! Greenhill has taken Harrigan high, and he has been sent off.
Well, a clumsy shot from Craig Greenhill. You've got to feel for the young man. But he probably didn't leave much. It's down in the referee's mind as to what the penalty should be. Well, Harrigan's still down.
Well, that's an unenviable position for Craig Greenhill. He's become the first ever State of Origin player sent off.
Well, it's a lonely figure, isn't it? I doubt whether Craig Greenhill will ever have such an empty feeling in the rest of his football career.
Pass is loose. Saylor takes it and Dean Pay takes him. Just on Andrew Ettinghausen, of course, he's been made to play a lot of his representative football on the wing. And I guess that was to necessitate the presence of the big fella, Mal Meninga. But he's in the centres for New South Wales these days. And he's playing magnificently. But none better than this man, Brasher. Just inside his own 20-metre line. We've got about 12 minutes of the Origin left. The series, is it about to be wrapped up by the Blues? You'd take short prices to say yes. Ainscough.
And I do hope that Jim Dimmick does get a run off the bench in this last 12 minutes.
You speak, Nostradamus?
I think it's a good thing. It's nice that all 17 players will share in this, and Dimmick will have an impact in the last 10 minutes. I think this man's been the best, Andrew Johns.
No, I know Steve Roach has been almost amazed at the improvement of Andrew Johns during this series.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. I thought last season when he was first picked in State of Origin, he was a bit overwrought, but he's every bit as elusive as Fittler and Daly, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what, Mike, until I look at the tape of the first game, and he's as tough as any player running around. Some of the hits he came up with in defence on bigger men, I had to look twice to make sure that it was him.
I'll tell you what, some of the clean-up work he's done from down here, watching it right on the ground, the way he covers the ground. He's, as you said, he's got no fear of taking people over the top. Don't worry about that.
Queensland struggling here to make some yards forward. That's been the big difference in the first half. They found a lot of holes, got some good momentum, but really, they've gone nowhere. 30 metres and Alfie Langer with a lot of pressure on the kick.
8 out of the 10 games played here at the SFS have ended with a margin of 8 points or less. It's looking as though this one will not fit into that category. Saylor with a couple of femmes, reaching the 30-metre line. There's the scoreboard. 26 and 20 for Queensland. Knock on. Forward pass. Taking eyes off the game to look at that statistical readout. Let me watch it.
Line ball.
Come down the blind side again. That is Thorne being wrestled into the ground. They've taken the ball off him. He must have lost it without any help. Daly goes away with it for New South Wales.
Well, Brad Thorne trying to slip a pass. He can't be blamed for that. Queensland really need two of those miracles we saw here a few years ago. I think it's just a little bit too late now for it.
David Furner! Furner's over the 40. The support on the inside and the out. And Furner's run away from them. Manson will put a scrum down.
Well, it's another bomb try. David Furner, he probably had too much support. He didn't know where to go. Straight through the tackle of Kevin Walters. The best support player was on the inside, was Jim Dimmick. And he tried to beat Wendell Saylor and then get one around the back of Brett Dallas. Probably would have been play on because it came off Dallas, but the kick from Croker too heavy.
Now, penalty has been given here as we just watched the end of that replay. And I'm trying to work out what for. But Andrew Johns is going to take a shot at goal.
Well, you assume it would have been one of the New South Wales support players being held out of the play. May well have been Brad Fittler. And that would come from a touch, Judge. Let's just have a look as Furner goes through.
Yeah, I think it was the player immediately on the left of Furner. It was Brad Fittler. You were right, Peter, but my goodness, there wasn't much in it.
Well, if he got to support him for another 15 metres after that, I can't believe that decision if that's what it was called for.
Well, you can take it for sure. That's what it was all about. I'll tell you what, they've marked them hard a couple of times in this match tonight. Here's Johns, and this one he strikes beautifully. 18-6. And this scrum will barely have time to pack. Only seconds remaining. And at the end of this match, New South Wales will be one series win in arrears of Queensland since the Origin series started back in 1980. The brainchild of Senator Ron McAuliffe. What a magnificent success story it's been. Saylor. And then Renoff. Harrigan makes the tackle. The crowd will take us out. There's the siren. It's all over. The 1996 series has been won by the New South Wales Blues, erasing the memories partially of a 3-0 drubbing last year by Queensland. And look at the New South Wales side, an emotional moment for them.